Understanding FOB, free on board. Hello, and welcome to our session on Incoterms. Today, we'll focus on one of the most commonly used trade terms in maritime commerce, FIBO free on board, whether you're a buyer or a seller. Understanding the responsibilities and risks under FOB is essential to ensure smooth and secure international trade. Part 1. What does FOB mean? FOB stands for free on board, followed by a named port of shipment, for example FOB Shanghai or FOB Hamburg. Under FOB, the seller is responsible for delivering the goods, cleared for export, packed and ready for shipment, and loaded on board the vessel nominated by the buyer at the named port. Once the goods are on board, risk transfers to the buyer. From that point on, the buyer bears all costs and risks, including ocean freight, insurance, unloading at the destination port, and inland transport. Part 2. Who does what? Seller's responsibilities. Deliver goods at the agreed port of shipment. Obtain export licenses and clear customs for export. Bear all costs and risks until the goods are loaded on board. Provide a commercial invoice and standard export documentation. Notify the buyer that the goods are on board. In most cases, assist in getting the bill of lading, although it may be issued in the buyer's name. Buyer's responsibilities: nominate the vessel and pay for main carriage. Pay all post-shipment costs, including unloading and local duties. Arrange insurance. Bear the risk once goods pass the ship's rail. Part 3. Important caveats and risk points only for sea and inland waterway transport. FOB is not appropriate for air freight or multimodal shipping. For those, use FCA instead. Ship's rail versus actual loading. Legally, the risk passes when the goods are on board, not just delivered to the port or terminal. Containerized cargo caution FOB is not ideal for containerized goods because sellers usually deliver to a terminal. It's not directly on board a ship. In such cases, FCA is safer and more practical. Buyer's failure to nominate a vessel. If the buyer fails to nominate a vessel in time, the seller may be relieved of delivery obligations and not be liable for delays. Proof of delivery, a bill of lading marked on board, is typically used to evidence the transfer of risk and fulfillment of the seller's obligation. Incoterms version matters. Always specify the Incoterms version. There are slight changes from version to version. Part 4. When to USE FOB. Use FOB when you're shipping non-containerized goods, such as bulk cargo or break bulk. The buyer has better access to freight and insurance services. Both parties understand the port operations clearly. The buyer wants direct control over the ocean freight. Part 5. Practical example. Let's say a seller in Mumbai agrees to sell 50 tons of rice to a buyer in Dubai under the term FOB Nhava Sheva Port Incoterms 2020. The seller delivers the rice to Nhava Sheva Port and loads it onto the buyer's nominated vessel. Once loaded and documented, the risk and cost shift to the buyer. The buyer pays for the freight, insurance, import clearance in Dubai, and local transport. FOB offers a clear division of responsibility at a defined point. On board the ship, however, its simplicity can be deceptive, and using it incorrectly, especially for container shipments, can lead to costly disputes. Always choose Incoterms based on the nature of the goods, the logistics chain, and the capabilities of each party. If in doubt, consult a trade expert or consider FCA for more modern transport needs.